everybody. It is a Wind Down Wednesday, and we are back. It's been a hot minute, a couple weeks.
Yeah,
because we
sure
took
has.
off. We took off before
Sorry.
our big Florida vacation. Yes, you may wonder why I'm wearing a sweatshirt in New Orleans, but it's real cold down here. I wore leggings all day today. But we're back, and we have a pretty fun show planned for tonight. We got a lot of things to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit about our trip. We are going to talk about some exciting travel things we have coming up. At the end of the show, I've got two big show announcements for you guys. I'm really excited about listen, Teets. Teets are making fun of me for not wearing black. Well, they didn't have this in black, so I got it in gray. Listen, I'm 40 now. I need to branch out. Women can't wear black all the time. So yeah, thanks for making fun of my sweatshirt, Teens. But so it's me, Keels, and I'm joined again by Courtney, Nola Disney Mama. How are you, Courtney?
I'm doing well. It has been a minute since we had Wine Down Wednesday. This is the first time I'm drinking wine on Wine Down Wednesday for a few months because we had Easter and spring break, and then we had our break while we were in Florida. And if you remember, I did a dry-ish Lent, so I was very excited to be back for Wine Down Wednesday, drinking out of my new rose gold rose gold port soul from Wine Bar George, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah. So it's so great. So I mixed it up a little bit with the wine this week. We're drinking two different varietals, and they both are reminiscent of two wines that we had on our trip just a couple weeks ago for my birthday at Disney. So full disclosure, Courtney is very much a red wine lover. Absolutely loves red wine. She'll default to that. I tend to go lighter. I like white wine and I like rosé. So I decided to pick a red for Courtney this week, and I have a rosé. So we're kind of in the same varietal family, but not so much. So this week I picked an Italian red. It's from, I'm going to mess the name up entirely. So let me just pull up the email that I sent about it so I can say it right, because I've been calling it a barbacoa, and that's not what it is.
It's not it. There's an S in there.
Yeah.
I think it's a Barbaresco.
It's a Barbaresco. Barbaresco. It's a cousin of a Nebbiolo, so it's going to be a lighter version of a Barolo, which is a really, really fruity, full-flavored Italian wine. And the reason I picked this one is because Courtney had something really close to it at a wine flight at Italy at Epcot during our Drinking Around the World adventures that she'll talk about. But I thought this might be, when I was at the wine store today looking to see what was out there, I thought this would be right up her alley. It's great with steak, with Italian food, pretty much anything you drink a juicy red or eat with a juicy red wine. I want to say it was like $19. So it was a great price point. And because of the age, it doesn't really need to be decanted. You can drink it right away.
Yeah.
For me,
sorry.
Rosé, but we'll let Courtney talk about her taste impressions of the wine.
No, I was going to say, when I scanned it in my Vivino app, it said $19.98 is the average price. So it's about a $20 price point bottle. Definitely get some vanilla oaky, some plum in there. It's really good. Tonight for dinner, I made a chicken caprese skillet, and it paired very nicely with that. I mean, chicken caprese, mozzarella, basil, tomato. How can
you go wrong?
An Italian red wine. It was perfect. And I didn't give any to my husband, so it's all for me.
Yeah, because I left that bottle on your porch for you. It didn't say for Courtney and Josh. Nope. It said nothing. It said it had actually your earrings on top of it, which meant this is just Courtney property. This is not community property.
No, but it's really good. It's very drinkable. Very good. I will definitely finish the bottle. Probably not tonight, but I'll finish the bottle. But who knows? It's been a day, so maybe it'll be tonight.
It's been a week.
Hang on,
but
folks.
You know what, you guys? We made it. We made it. It is Wednesday night. The week is half over. April is more than half over. I can't believe this year is just flying by. crazy flying by. How many more weeks of school do you have left?
I think we have about 5 weeks left, including exams. So kind of crazy. My son asked today how many days of school he had left, and he has 23 days. It's like school days left. He gets out before I do.
So he's counting down, though.
He's counting down. He's excited. He's going straight to summer camp, but he's excited.
He's got to go straight to camp because we're trying to work out some 18-hour plans here this summer. Next year, 86. Just don't pay attention to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He says rude marriage means sharing. Well, happy wife, happy life is what I say to that.
That's exactly what it is. That may mean marriage means sharing in that household. It doesn't mean that in this household. So I have gone with a rosé. I have the Martin Ray. It is a 2020. It's a rosé of Pinot Noir from Sonoma County. See how beautiful and light pink it is. It's almost the same pink as my flowers back there. And this is reminiscent. And why I picked this one is it is the same year, same varietal, and same region of a rosé we had for dinner on the night of my 40th birthday at California Grill. And so I thought it'd be nice to revisit that flavor profile. It's so juicy. I'm getting strawberries, a little bit of green apple. It's really dry and crisp. There's not a whole lot of back flavor. Nothing is really lingering. So it'd be great with anything from pizza to a salad to sushi to dessert. I mean, rosé usually goes pretty great with everything. So I'm absolutely loving this one. This one is normally like $25, but Martin Wine Cellar was doing a basically BOGO sale on rosé today, which was either 2 for $20 or 2 for $35. So I stocked up because rosé doesn't last very long in this house, especially when I can find rosé of Pinot Noir or rosé of Zinfandel, which are my 2 favorite. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked. If you like our wine chat right now, wait until I tell you what we have in store for you next week. But we'll get to that in a few minutes. So the reason I picked these wines is basically based off of some of the fun adventures we had in Florida 2 weekends ago for my birthday. The whole Crescent Lake Club was down there. We're going to start having a whole bunch of videos and different reviews and stuff popping up in the next week. We're going to be talking about a lot of the things we did. Yeah, a lot of new things. We stayed as a group. We all stayed together because we were all fully vaccinated. So for the first time, we all were together in person, and we stayed in a 2-bedroom villa at Wyndham Bonnet Creek. And I've stayed there once before with Courtney, but this was the first time for everyone else. And I think the whole club was unbelievably impressed with our accommodations. I've never used a dryer in a hotel room before, and now I'm not sure if I can ever live life without a dryer in a hotel room. It was just such a fun time in the space that you have, and it's such a great. I was just talking with some other club members today that we're looking at pricing for the holiday season and into next year when basically the only remaining perk of staying on site at Disney, the Magical Express, goes away, and just how many great off-site options there are at Walt Disney World that people haven't yet taken advantage of. So what did you, well, you've stayed at Bonnet Creek plenty of times.
It's like my home resort, essentially. I probably have stayed there. I don't even know how many times. But similar to Saratoga, my mother-in-law has some vacation points that she graciously lets me use sometimes. And she comes with us sometimes as well. And so she let us use points for Keely's birthday for a 2-bedroom. I've stayed there in a studio, a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom. They go all the way up to a 3-bedroom. And they're fabulous. They are bigger than DVC villas. And while they are an off-property resort, they are not a Disney-owned property. They are within the gates. They are, depending on how you leave Hollywood Studios, they are right outside of the parking lot of Hollywood Studios. It's also where the help me out. There's a Hilton Bonnet Creek there as well, and the
Waldorf. The brand new JW Marriott is there, and the Waldorf Astoria and the Waldorf Astoria golf course are all right there.
Down that same road.
Down the same road. And, we'll have pictures to show you guys. And what I got so excited to show first the girls and then Whitty and Teets when they showed up was, what view did we have? You see the Skyliner. Right off our balcony, you can see the Skyliner. So that shows you how close we could see the, it's not Grand Ceremonial House. What is the check-in area at Caribbean Beach? But you can see the little spike from the top of that. And I honestly think from the building we were in and the angle we were at, if we were up higher, that's like theme park view. You could see probably Hollywood. You could probably see Tower of Terror or Spaceship Earth. I've
stayed in rooms that you can see fireworks. I've had essentially a firework view room. And even if you don't have a fireworks view room, they don't call it that, but that's in reality what it is. When there's fireworks, when there's not COVID, they have a patio upstairs on one of the towers that you can go up and watch the fireworks from the resort. So that's really nice. I've always stayed on points, but they do rent them for cash, which I've checked that just a few times, just truly out of curiosity to see how the cash points, and it is cheaper than a 2-bedroom there is cheaper than a 2-bedroom DVC. And like Keely said, if Disney doesn't up their perks for staying on property, get more for your money. And as someone who sells Disney, I hate saying it, but get more for your money and stay somewhere else where you can get more space for less money.
So you can do more fun things in the parks, more meals. Right. You can actually add a park hopper to your ticket, or maybe add a water park experience to that. Or maybe if it's enough and you have a big enough family, an extended family, you're all traveling together. Maybe the money you guys are saving by staying at Bonnet Creek, you can do a VIP tour for a day. Right. Something like that, with Disney doing away with Magical Express, there's really no advantage for this has been something that Courtney and I have been frustrated about, and we've talked about it ad nauseum on other streams. I still don't understand how on-site resort guests aren't getting park reservation priority.
Aren't guaranteed park reservation.
Or I know
they have priority, but if you guarantee it, that alone is a huge enough perk to be able to suggest on property. But I do get it still, staying in the bubble, there is still something to be said about staying at an on-property resort. But depending on who you are, you might not notice it, you might not care. I told the Crescent Lake Club a few years ago when we went for Mardi Gras, we did a split stay at Bonnet Creek and Port Orleans Riverside. And when we moved I was like, I can't wait to go on property. I love Port Orleans. Probably talk about that in a minute because they're not back yet. But we moved into the hotel room at Port Orleans, and my son goes, why is the TV in the bedroom? Where's the kitchen? He was so outdone that we were staying in a hotel room instead of a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom villa, whatever we were in. And I was like, no, this is better. We're on property. He's like, no, it's small.
So I have some pictures. I meant to take a video and I didn't, but I'll be able to find some to show you guys on the blog when I write about it, probably next week. But so the layout is you walk into the common living dining room area. So you have a dining room table that seats 6, which is really fun because we played Loteria at the dining room table one night, which I think was Courtney's first time of playing Mexican bingo. And I'm not sure what she was expecting to get out of it. I hope she enjoyed it because that's really Angela's domain. But so you have a dining room table that seats 6, which for us, there were 6 of us, so it was perfect. There's also like a sideboard table against the wall there, so comes in handy for storage. Or I laid out all of our different items that we needed for our park touring days and stuff there that I think a lot of us just left behind just because of how it is when you're
Oh. I still have Panchito.
Still alive. You win now. You totally win.
Yes, but I still have Panchito on my book bag.
So yeah. Anyway. There were a lot of bits from this birthday trip. But yeah, so we've got a sideboard, which when everyone showed up, I had the party donkeys and our sashes for Drink Around the World and some other little sussies like the pull the yellow strap keychains, our captain's hats for Boathouse Brunch. It was just a lot of bits. The monorail, the Drink Around the Monorail tickets that we never used because it rained so hard. Like we've spent way more time at the boathouse than we probably expected to, or at Disney Springs in general. But yeah, so from there where you move into, you've got a full kitchen, full refrigerator, microwave, a range, so stove and oven, a full-size coffee maker, full coffee pot, a dishwasher, a sink, a wraparound counter that had at least four bar stools on it. And then you go into the living room area and you've got a couch that has a queen size sofa bed in it with 2 end tables. And there was still at least one, or was there 2 like oversized chairs, like sitting chairs. And then another, like you've got a TV there on a chest of drawers. Courtney and I shared the master, which was a king that had another chest of drawers and a TV. And then it had a split bathroom. So you walk into the open portion of the bathroom and it has a jetted tub and a vanity with a sink and a full closet. And then you go into the doored portion of the bathroom and then it has a toilet, a shower, and another vanity. And that's just one half. We go to the other side by the door. You have a stackable washer and dryer. Also in the living room, you had another big closet that has your recycling and extra trash space, but plenty of places to store more luggage for whoever was sleeping in the pull-out, hang up more clothes.
Teats.
We said he had to sleep outside or in the bathtub, but we actually let him sleep on the sofa bed. Then you've got a really nice bathroom with vanity and a bathtub shower combo that has Jack and Jill doors. Into the second bedroom that has another closet, has another TV and a chest of drawers, and then 2 double beds. Really great windows and all that. And then on top of that, you've got this massive patio. Like we could have played Twister on this patio and still had the chairs around it. We had so much space. I want to say when I looked at like the whole square footage of the 2-bedroom, including the patio, it's something insane, like 1,400 square feet.
Yeah. And that's not even their biggest 2-bedroom villa. They have a bigger one. Like their categories are weird and there's like random names, but they have an even bigger 2-bedroom that we've stayed in before. And when the time we stayed there, we were still living in our old house. That was a shotgun double, 900 square feet. And like the living room dining area of that villa was it felt like as big as the house we were living in at home. It's huge and spacious.
It felt just a hair smaller than my house here. It was just but I like the open concept, and Teets is listening because he keeps rolling his eyes in the comments. Teets in the comments, drop us what you thought about the stay at Bonnet Creek. But it was great. It was like perfect for everything we wanted to do. We had enough space. Plenty of space to nag Teets when he'd been sitting like this for an hour and a half in the morning because he couldn't function after Epcot. And we were trying to teach him how to go through a hangover. He refused to do hair of the dog.
I'm looking now. They even have a 4-bedroom there. They must only have a few because I've never seen it available to book.
That's got to be like presidential penthouse and just like 1 or 2 of the towers.
Yeah, it's only presidential. So
yeah, we were Tower 1 and we were floor 3. You wish you got to see more the resort itself. So I've seen the resort with Courtney, but Beth actually went and worked. She had to do some meetings and stuff before her flight on Monday. And so she actually got to tour the grounds a little bit. And from the pictures she was sending us of her work setup, she was not mad at it at all. So the grounds are absolutely beautiful. There's multiple pools. There's lake and fountain space. There's all sorts of different things. It's still COVID time, so there's not a lot of the same activities. Like they have a full, in non-COVID times, they have a full like resort entertainment schedule of movies and games and crafts and all sorts of stuff. That's kind of tamped down.
Yeah.
Yoga. But they do have a running trail that connects all the buildings around the lake.
A couple different pools. One has a lazy river.
One has
slides are not
pirate ship in it.
Yeah. Slides are not as intense as some of the Disney Deluxe resorts, but still fun slides for the kids. So it's a great resort. I like the price point when my mother-in-law lets me use her points to stay there for free.
No,
but it's a great option.
Yeah, so it's something that's really fun to think about and look at if you're doing like an extended family group or like us, just a bunch of friends that are hanging out. And I was really thankful that Courtney's mother-in-law allowed us to stay there, because when we started planning this trip back in like January, early February, everything was closed down at 10 and parks were closing at like 7. It's like, okay, so what do we do? And I was like, well, if we're in a bunch of hotel rooms, we don't have anywhere fun to hang out if we want to play games or just have drinks and stuff like that. And this afforded us the place to kind of do that. And we could have coffee and breakfast if we wanted it, or snacks or different things. We had a full fridge to bring leftovers back to that I don't think any of us ate.
Right.
But also a place to like store bottled water, because you have this space. Bottled water, have stuff for mimosas or juice and stuff to go with coffee in the morning and all that kind of stuff. It was absolutely great. The also cool thing is they are doing their own version of Magic Bands. So they are metal RFID chips that are on an elastic band, and that's how you access the gate to get into the resort and how you access your door. So I thought that was incredibly cool.
I still have mine. It's in my wallet still. But it's a elastic. We stayed at another Wyndham property in Gatlinburg over Christmas, and they had the same thing. So I'm guessing that's what the Wyndham properties are moving to. So it's pretty nice, and it feels special.
I'm not mad at it. When I went in, I was expecting to like it, because I had to, when I went to check in, they're doing the whole social distancing thing, but I loved it. I had the reservation, and she's like, there's a notepad on your left. I need you just to write down everybody's name. And there's a notepad on the right that I just need you to write down your address that corresponds with the credit card I'm going to ask you to stick into the machine. And I did it. And she gave me a parking pass right there, so I didn't have to go do the timeshare presentation for a parking pass. They tried to get me to do a timeshare presentation to get the wristbands, but I was like, there's like 6 of us. We're only here for a short time. It's my birthday. And he's like, oh, well, here they are. And just scan them in, and then we were all done. It was so easy, so great. I think we all, and then they also give you 2 actual room key cards. And the security guard was super awesome, because he's like, keep one of these. We rented a minivan because I'm 40. So that's basically minivan life, even though I have no kids, minivan time. But the security guard was like, you're going to get gate key cards. Keep one of them in the car just to use to open up the gate. He goes, I see so many people that think it's like a magic band, and that by the time they scan it and speed up, the gate will be open, and they've just never made contact with the little wristband. It's like, okay, that is a pro tip. But so cheers to Wyndham. I loved it.
Yeah, I've stayed at lots of different Wyndham properties over the years. And they can be, I'll be completely honest, they can be pushy about going to the timeshare presentation when you're staying in one of their timeshare rooms. They can be pretty pushy. Bonnet Creek is by far the least pushy. And I have to believe it's because there's so many kids and that stay there because it's on Disney property.
Yeah.
I have never had the second, oh, really, you really should come to this presentation. Not once. They're the easiest to say oh no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my mom's points.
Yeah. And that's what I said. I'm like, if they're not mine, it's a friend of mine's mother-in-law. It's like, well, you want to come down? He goes, honestly, you can just come by and I'll give you one more card key and you can just go walk around the room because we have been doing a lot of renovations and we're about to have a big reveal, but you can just go look whenever you want. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. I am interested in that because I do feel this room looked a little more upgraded than the one we stayed in 2 years ago. Looked a little different.
Yeah.
So I can tell they were going for a different vibe, but yay, Bonnet Creek. I love it.
Ooh.
I love the area. I love the convenience. I loved watching Angela walk around on Monday because she forgot where she parked the night before with 2 suitcases and a backpack. And I just watched her because we were right over the porte cochere at the front of the resort. I just see her long-legged up and back around one side of the parking lot. And then she walks on the porte cochere to the other side of the parking lot all the time with the hand up trying to hit the emergency button to make the minivan make a sound. That wasn't the only time we essentially lost the minivan during our trip. It wasn't.
I also tried to drive it with the parking brake on, so there's that.
You did. That's right. Well, I did too, and I don't know why she puts the parking brake on it.
It's flat. It's flat as a pancake. But the parking brake was on, and I tried to drive it, and I was like, why is this not working? I know how to drive a car.
That's how it was for me. So I was like, why is this going? I'm like, oh, the parking brake is on this. Okay. But. So let's fast forward to a little bit of our park time. So our first day in the park all together, I think I'll save brunch for when we can all talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start getting to why we're drinking these wines and some of our park experiences to talk about. So for our first park day together, it was on Saturday, and we went to Epcot to experience Flower and Garden Festival, but to also complete our Adult Wilderness Explorers Challenge and drink around the world. And one of the places I've never been to is the Wine Cave in Italy. And I know it's weird. It's terrible. So we tried to go this time, and we thought we might just get a seat in there, and it didn't happen. But they had a really great table out on the patio at Tutto Italian. And actually, that worked out perfect because we're like, yay, we're not having to sit outside. We've got cover because a rainstorm is coming in. Anyway, I was drinking rosé there. And Courtney was indulging in one of the wine flights, which one of the wines is very similar to what she's drinking tonight. And we're all having fun. Our server, Erin, was amazing. We told her, yeah, we're just kind of hanging out for a minute. We need water and wine and bread with olive oil. So she kept bringing us bread with olive oil. And this crazy storm rolls in. And then next thing you know, because we're in the corner, so they start rolling down the rain shades. And we're thinking, oh, yeah, we're the smartest people. We're in the safest place at Epcot. Look at all these dummies running around trying to hide in a stairwell while it's raining. We're just going to be here sipping our wine. And then what happened?
Keely got yelled at by the manager of Tutto Italia for trying to help roll down the rain shades.
Well, it's not rolled down. So they were rolled down and locked up, but a downburst came in and it just flew in. It sheared off the hooks that were holding to these pants. So holding back.
Keely's literally holding the plastic. And you're frozen. It's so funny. She's holding the plastic to try and keep us all dry. And the manager's like, ma'am, I'm going to need you to sit down. We'll take care of it. And we're like, okay, we're just going to stay dry. But it was a freaking tornado.
It was a downdraft. It was a downdraft. And I wanted to be like this. I know what she wanted to do because she was a manager and it's liability and all of that. But she literally was a size -0 she was 5'4", and I'm 5'8", and like a 12 to 14. So listen, Linda, you get a dude over here that can hold this in better, or you get my friends and our stuff off this table, and then I will let go. But they were able to move us into a table, I think.
And then they just kept bringing her stuff. Like we scooped everything up. She's like, "Is this yours? Is this yours?"
She would just start bringing over stuff and putting it on our table that had just blown askew, askance throughout the entire Italy pavilion. As like, is this these y'all I'm gonna put these here. These are y'all sunglasses. And we're like, the best was when she was trying to track down all of her flower and garden books. It's like, no, we don't really need those.
We don't need those free books.
We're good. We weren't doing that Impossible Foods challenge.
Yeah. But Erin was incredible and hilarious.
Amazing.
Ask for her if you go to Tutto Italia.
Yes, if you go to Tutto Italia, ask for Erin. She's fantastic. She had no issues with us. I felt bad because they were spacing tables around and stuff. So I did feel bad that we were just going to be having wine and cocktails and bread. But she had no problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was great. She was absolutely great. So Courtney had Wine Flight. Do you have both of them or just one?
I just had the Under the Tuscan Sun, which was a red flight. I believe they also had a white and a rosé flight, and maybe like a progression, maybe a white, rosé, and red flight.
So they have,
but they do change with some frequency. Not like every day, but they do change it up. But this one, I mean, I love reds. I love Italian reds. It's what I started drinking wine. Like that's what I started drinking when I started drinking wine. But it started with the Chianti, and then two that I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I don't speak Italian at all. But they were really good. And then the third in the progression was a Tre Francia, I think is how you say it.
Francia?
Sure. That was really good, and I spilled half of it, and Erin very kindly immediately refilled it. And it was so good that I then ordered another glass of that because I knew we weren't going anywhere when Tornado Sally ripped through Italy. So yeah, I ordered a full glass of that. Yes, Tornado Figment. I ordered a full glass of that to sit there while we sat and finished up. And waited for the storm to pass, and it was delicious.
So the great thing is those flights are only $17, and they come in stemless wine glasses, and they're 3-ounce pours, so they're pretty decent pours of the wine. And even then, at Disney, when a glass of wine itself is going for $14, as long as you're not doing something like Rose Regale or I can't even think what other terrible wine they've got. It's a really great deal, especially if you want to try wines. I wasn't feeling the white list, but the crisp Italian wines look great if you're like me that doesn't like Chardonnay but likes white wine. And the wine that I gave Courtney is actually a sister of the one off of From the Hills of Piedmont flight, but it's very, very similar to the Donna Olympia, which was the second wine that you had in your Tuscan Sun flight. But yeah, so two thumbs up for Italy.
Yes.
It's
I wish we could have been in Tutto Gusto in the wine cellar, since I think I'm the only one who's ever been in there. I was really hoping that we go in there together. Witty's been in there. But it really just feels like you're in some old man's Italian wine cellar in Italy. It feels really cool in there. But one day, next time, because this is the first but not last, right?
No, definitely not last.
Definitely not last.
So a new to me experience that I think everyone else had done except for Leslie was, so Leslie had never been to Cava de Tequila ever. I haven't been since COVID where they do the second, like a secret backstage line. So we did that, and that was an interesting experience too. I feel
that
like
was our first line in Epcot, and while I love cava and I love a good margarita, if we had to do it again and replay the day, I don't know that I would have chosen to wait that long, right? Because it was a long wait. I didn't start the timer, but it was a long wait.
It was supposed to be between 30 and 45, and we were real adamant because Leslie needed to go, and Teets loves cava, and it's like, well, Leslie's never been in all these trips, so we have to do it, and we were optimistic. My favorite margarita is still the one from the quick service, La Cantina. Teets and I did pass the time by vlogging.
Yes.
So great. We did pass the time by vlogging. I'll post those videos later. But so my favorite, if you're going to Mexico for drinking around the world, my favorite drink, if you just like a regular margarita, is the Margarita Superior at La Cantina. I think it's like $12, so it's way cheaper than cava. You can't mobile order, but they do have a drink only line. So you can go in it and get that. And it's just like your traditional margarita on the rocks. That's all you really need. You don't need to spend $20 on one of them.
Yeah. And I think my gruff with that is I was only in the parks for like 2 1/3 day. I wouldn't even say 2.5 days, like 2 1/3 days. Yeah. And that was like the first, like, I don't know. I get so excited to go into the park and it's like, yay, we're here. And look, I've fully supported waiting in line. Like I said, I love La Cava. I love margaritas. But like once we were 20 minutes in, I was like, well, we've already waited this amount of time. There's no reason to get out of line. We just have to stick it out. But again, if I had 2020 or if I had, goggles into the future, if I had to do it again, I would not have waited that. I would not have suggested that we wait that long.
Well, especially because we were all on a high too. We came in to the park,
we're there.
And then we took pictures as a group together, and it was the first time that we were told we could take our masks off to take a group picture, and he took some really great ones. And then as we were scanning our magic bands to get them in our My Disney experience, our PhotoPass photographer was so sweet. He was like, "Welcome back. It is so great to see y'all's faces again." And I'm like, I had to turn and like, look at you.
Yeah. Because it was like less than a week. No, it was like 2-3 days.
2 or 3 days.
That they've been taking maskless pictures. So for him to say that, it was like, well,
I'm so happy to see y'all's faces again. And it's just that just set us on like the super happy, okay, we're back. Even as we're walking through those super hot areas with the construction walls to get everywhere we wanted to go, we were super happy. That line just kind of shut. Also, but you know what? It wasn't, I'm going to say it's not La Cava's fault. It's the people that just don't drink and don't pay attention. You don't need to wait until you get in there to start looking at what the menu is.
They literally had 3 or 4 huge signs with the margarita menu. Huge signs. With a QR code so that even if you were passing it, you could have scanned it and opened it on your phone. You could open My Disney.
They handed out menus when you started going in the back door. They handed out paper menus.
No, I'll say they make their drink. They hand mix their drinks. They're not pre-mixed, so it takes it's not just pouring from a machine. So in that sense, making the drinks takes a minute, but you should walk up and say, "I want a Black Magic, thanks Neil Patrick Harris," and they start making it.
So I will say this is better than the end of pre-COVID times when essentially you'd go in there to get a to-go drink and you would never see the tequila hit the bottle. It was just poured straight out of a pitcher. So this is good. At least you get to see the tequila go in there with the mixers and it gets shaken up. So you can see that it's no longer pre-mixed. So I appreciate that. I just don't appreciate people that don't know what they want going in. There's 9 things to choose from and you've had 30 minutes to look.
Right.
It's also on the app.
Right.
But anyway.
Right.
We had our.
It was still good.
Yeah,
I had
so great.
I had a Black Magic. If you don't know, that's the drink that Neil Patrick Harris created for La Cava because he loves La Cava, and I love Neil Patrick Harris, and I love La Cava, so I had to get that again because it was so good.
Teets had the blood orange. Leslie had the avocado. I went with the top shelf, which was only usually I can get in there and I can ask them to make me just the old school La Cava margarita. They would not do that this time, so I had to go with the top shelf, and it was fine. It was good.
It was good.
I was happy.
It was good.
Because I knew when we get to the next country, Norway.
I skipped it.
I had
got
beer.
some water.
I think Teets got me a beer. There's just nothing remarkable to talk about Norway. Next to Norway was China. And I think we went to the booth because that's where you got those awesome Rangoons.
Rangoons. Yeah, Rangoons.
Yeah.
They were Rangoon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were
Rangoons.
Yeah, they were star-shaped.
Mm-hmm.
But we got cocktails because they basically had miniature versions of all the cocktails at the Joy of Tea at their Flower and Garden booth. So we were able to get like Kung Fu Punch and something else. So we did that. And that was our first eating off a trash can experience.
Got some photo documentation of that. The wonton or crab rangoons were sea crab rangoons, not K crab. So it was real crab. They were really good. I was still stuffed from brunch, but I also needed to try the crab rangoons because I love crab rangoon. And also I have found that at all the festivals, that booth has some of the best food, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
I got the Szechuan shrimp when I was there for Festival of the Arts, and it was amazing. These crab rangoon were really good. Real crab.
Teets, did you try the crab?
No. They were really good. So that's what I got there.
So then after China is Africa, and I don't think we did anything. Oh, I may have had a drink. That's a no. We know you didn't try the crab. I can't remember if I had a beer in
You
Africa.
might have, because we stood at that little table that said, don't stand here.
They're not the boss
in between the booths.
Yeah, they're not the boss of me. That's right, because it was so hot. I'm like,
it had gotten really hot at that point, and it said this table is closed for social distancing, but there was literally nothing
but clothes like tents around us. I'm like, we're standing here, and they're not going to say anything to me. I need my pasty skin needs this umbrella, and I need to take this mask off, and I need to drink this Miller Lite. I think that's where I got the sporks.
Yeah.
So speaking of the sporks, next week we will have our giveaway, one of our first Keelsapalooza giveaways that will be centered around Flower and Garden Festival. We'll talk about that at the end of the show, and you'll see more about it on social media, but it will include one of that bee guy, Spike the Bee, one of those sporks. Mm-hmm. They're magic. Mm-hmm. Did Fletcher like his spork?
Mm-hmm. He's a fan.
So then we went to Germany.
Germany. You got a beer. Y'all got beers. Did I? No, I might not have gotten anything in Germany. Or water.
I fought with myself on what to get in Germany, and I think I got wine.
I was holding off because I knew that Italy was next, and I knew that we were trying to go into the wine cellar. So I either got water or nothing. Maybe Teets got a beer and I took a sip, and I think Teets got a beer everywhere.
Oh, I thought y'all did. No, Teets did boozy caramels.
Oh, I did that too. I did not like them. I did not like them very much, but I don't like caramel, so I don't know why I got them.
Yeah, I don't really I'm like, I hate these beers so much, and I know I'm going to drink wine at pretty much the next 3 countries. So I think I got like a Riesling or something like that, and it was fine.
I don't even I like caramel things. Like I like caramel popcorn. I like caramel in a candy bar. I don't like just eating straight caramel. But Teach is like, that's what I'm getting. I was like, sure that's what I'll get. And I feel like it's going to pull my teeth out.
Pull your teeth out.
So I had 2 of them, and the other 2 ended up in the fridge that we never ate, unless Teets ate them sneakily back in the hotel that night.
Probably not.
Yeah.
So yeah, then that brings us.
But those are available year round at the Caramel
Kucha.
whatever. Kucha. But those are available year round. Pull your teeth out. Have some
also with the caramel corn, which I think the rest of our group got the caramel corn.
We did devour that.
Yeah. Woody usually takes a bag back with her, and I don't even think it made it back to the hotel room.
Nope.
So then next was Italy. We've talked about that. I had a lot of rosé. Courtney had a bunch of red wine. We nearly got sucked up by a tornado. I saved the day by sheltering at everyone, and then I got yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the best way to move on from Italy is essentially by the time it stopped raining, we just had to straight hustle to dinner. Yes. So I think we
passed up US, right? Because we went back, but we passed up the United States.
But we went straight past the United States because we had a reservation for one of the meals I was super excited about because you guys know I love bits. And what is a bigger bit at Disney? Hibachi. So we knew that with 6 of us, it was very likely we would get our own tables. We'd be able to spread out. We'd have a chef to ourselves. It'd be a fun time. And I feel like it was. I had a blast.
Yeah. I know people are kind of like whatever about Tempranillo. Some people love it. Some people hate it. I love hibachi.
I do too.
My husband and my son love hibachi because they eat like they've never seen food before, and you get a lot of food for a decent price point. But it was so good. I love the hibachi shrimp and yum yum sauce. I had some gin cocktail that was delicious. I'm trying to look it up right now. It was just good. I mean, it's not anything special really compared to your local hibachi place, assuming you have a decent hibachi place where you are.
The udon noodles are different. I only get the udon noodles at Tempranillo, and
most places have rice. I'll be honest, I miss rice a little bit. I really like hibachi rice, but the noodles certainly make up for it.
Yeah, it was great, and their menu for their protein is really, really varied. So I know I had the ribeye steak. Whitty had shrimp. Leslie had scallops. Teets had well done chicken. He had chicken. Courtney had shrimp. And I think Angela had, maybe Angela had salmon.
She did. Her salmon was good too.
Oh yeah, because you guys were sitting down there. So you got to, nobody wanted to try Teets' chicken. He's like, anyone want to try my chicken? No, Teets. We know what chicken tastes like.
But they were really good about it. If you have concerns about food allergies, someone in our party was allergic to scallops. So the scallops did not touch the griddle until everyone had been served. And if you've been to a hibachi place, you know that, the person who ordered scallops, it was fine. She had a full plate of food waiting for her protein to come out. But they were perfect about it. Like,
fantastic.
There was no concern for the person with the allergy about any cross-contamination.
It was great. Yeah, they came out and it was the gal with the shrimp was sitting next to the gal who was having the scallops. She's like, I just have a mollusk allergy. And she's like, this is really easy because scallops only take 4 minutes to cook. So we're just going to give her her own special scallop show for her protein. And I don't think she minded one bit. But all in all, we had a blast. Got a big hat that got destroyed in the rain.
Oh, I forgot that.
I know. They all sang to me. We got ice cream, all sorts of things. So 2 thumbs up to Tempranillo. I would never hesitate to make a reservation. This is my second time there. My first time was on New Year's Eve 4 years ago, and it was just as fantastic. Our chef that cooked for us was really great. I think the price point is actually pretty comparable with what you get at a local hibachi place too. So,
yep.
And you don't get, the hibachi fried rice, but you get steamed white rice on top of that. And the udon noodles are so great. I'm a big fan.
Yep.
2 thumbs up to Teppanito. It was for what we needed, and for our group, I think it was the perfect dinner at Epcot.
Yeah, it's interactive, so you don't have to worry about I don't know. There's something going on. Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
So we had our own table in the corner of the room, out of the way. It was perfect. So then we went back to United States.
Keely and Teets had a dance.
I tried to get Teets to dance. He's terrible. I just don't know. Listen, I'm trying to set him up to a point where maybe he could one day get married. I don't know, and he just wouldn't do it.
But there's like a band playing. I'm trying to remember the name of the band. It was not Voices of Liberty. It was like the mariachi band playing.
Oh, it's Mariachi Cobra.
There we go. They were fun, and so we just hung out there for a little bit, let our food settle. I believe somebody got the funnel cake. Right? Didn't Whitty get the funnel cake? And we kept on going from there.
Yep. So we had, I'm guessing we all had beer or
nothing special.
Nothing special. Then we went to Morocco. I know Morocco.
I went worst wine of my life.
Oh my gosh. Because I went inside and I got the sparkling sangria from the bar at Spice Road Table.
Right. And so, Keely, what's the fun fact?
No longer has Tito's. No longer has a full bar anymore. FYI, this used to be my hot tip, was that Spice Road Table had a full bar. Go to here. Like, oh, I'm going to get a Tito's cocktail and just take this up a notch. And I was like,
yeah. Because it changed ownership, right? Or it's at least changed.
So now Disney owns it and Disney hates Tito's.
So they don't have a full bar. So she got the sparkling rosé. I got some red blend.
Sangria, yeah.
Sparkling sangria, sorry.
Yeah.
I was trying to stay, somewhat Moroccan. I didn't want to order like an Italian wine in Morocco. Trying to stay with the theme, and it was not good. Which I shouldn't be shocked by, because Morocco is not exactly known for its wine. But I don't recommend it. Whatever the red blend is in Morocco, I don't recommend it at all.
Steer clear.
We drank it because it was $12. Yeah. We did make up for that.
We made up for it in France. So everyone went to go explore the not at all open Ratatouille entrance and listened to Teets bitch for about 20 minutes about Ratatouille not being open, while he took pictures of the bathrooms and toured everything and made sure he got to see every nook and cranny. So while that sounds like a lot of fun, sad I missed it. Courtney
and I kept drinking.
Yeah, we went into the wine bar right next to the perfume shop and had the champagne flight, because here in France, what do you want? Bubbles. And that one is $32, but it is all
so I have the picture right here that I took.
It's, okay, yeah, because it's Moet Chandon.
The Imperial and the Imperial Rosé. So really nice champagne flights. And they come in these little 3-ounce, right? Yeah. These little 3-ounce champagne flutes. And I tell you, what is it called when liquid makes that bubble that it's, sits over the rim?
Oh, how kind of domes over everything? Yeah.
Yes.
That's not the right word.
They fill that champagne up to the dome. They don't spill a drop, but they give you all 3 ounces of that 3-ounce pour.
Yeah. And the best was for the Moet Chandon Imperial, they had to open a new bottle and they gave me the cork. So I got to bring the cork to add back to my cork collection. So it was real great. And by then the rain had subsided. So we just walked out and sat.
It felt very Parisian.
It felt very Parisian. We were sitting by the entrance to Impressions of France and just having our champagne. People watching, checking in on Twitter, looking at our text messages from everyone else in the group complaining about teats, complaining about ratatouille. It was greatness.
Yeah, it was great. That was one of the best moments of that night, I think.
But yeah, because the rain had finally subsided, so it was nice and cool. There was really no humidity. This was, so the park was open until 11. So it was starting to get pretty late because we didn't stay at the park until close.
Yes.
So if Teets is still with us, Teets is a very important part of the next stop, which is the UK. And it was a drinking around the world tradition that started, goodness, like 4 or 5 years ago. It's not my favorite thing to do, but it's something that just has to be done. And when you get to Rose and Crown, you do Irish car bombs. So pre-COVID times, there you go. Yeah, look at the little face from Teetsy.
He's there.
So pre-COVID times, you were allowed to drink them in the bar. Now you are not allowed to loiter inside the Rose and Crown pub. You get your drinks and go outside, which means we had to take all these components for the Irish car bombs outside and do them outside. So you didn't do a car bomb, did you?
Hell no. We went into the festival center and walked around and got some drinks there.
It was just me and Teets.
Yeah.
Beat Teets on chugging it. Beat Teets on the hangover. But then eventually it started raining again when we got to Canada. And I don't know where I was waiting in line. I think I was to get like wine or something else. But I come back, so it started raining. So we all put our
You and I went to the honey bistro.
Honey bistro.
I wanted the spoon bread, which was good. I heard a lot of buzz. That was not intentional.
That was so intentional. You take the post-it note off. You take the post-it note off your laptop right now. I'm proud of you. You gave it away too quick. You should have just let it roll. And I've been like,
I heard a lot about the spoon bread. It was fine. I wouldn't have waited in a long line.
Better when you say that.
I wouldn't have waited in a long line for it, but it was a walk up at that Honey Bistro. And I also got a beer at some other place. This is clearly the end of the night.
So usually when I do drinking around the world, I do lanyards with markers, little tiny Sharpies attached to them.
Citrus
and I write on the back so I can
Yeah.
keep track of what I've done. This time I did Wilderness Explorer badges. They were actually Girl Scout brownie sashes, and I would do pins for everyone when we crossed the country. So at some point, unless I took a picture, I have no idea. I'm assuming at this point I was still just rolling with the wine. Because I know.
Yeah. No, I think, did you get this? I got the Citrus Blossom. I got some orange beer that I have a picture of.
Yeah, that was you.
You might have gotten the same thing. I think Citrus Blossom is like outside of Canada. But
yeah, I think you're right.
Honey Bistro is outside of the Starbucks. Yeah.
Yeah, Honey Bistro is all the way. It's where like Caribbean islands are during Food and Wine Festival.
At the same time as when Teets got his vomit drink.
So it's raining. I've put this I walk back, and the rest of the group is huddled in ponchos in the entryway to this new bathroom by Starbucks. And
not socially distant.
Not socially distant at all. We're vaccinated. It's fine. It's fine. And here's Teets cradling this tiny cup that looks like he scooped up his vomit from somewhere. And God forbid he toss it because he is going to drink it. And it was the popcorn vodka milkshake. I don't know what booze was in it. He offered me to try some of it. I just took a look at it, and you see popcorn, like not even good looking popcorn kernels. They're like burnt caramel corn kernels, like floating at the top, and like the liquid is on the top of it. And it's just...
At some point, Whitty had gotten, I think she got her second coated popcorn. I think she got the maple popcorn in Canada.
Yeah.
At some point, Teets took some of her popcorn and added more to his drink because somehow that made it better. But it looked vile.
It looked like a cup of vomit. It smelled like, I don't know. For all I know, it could have been like clear peanut butter whiskey or some made up liquor.
But I think it tasted fine because he downed it pretty quick, although we had been drinking around the world at that point. So the end of the World Showcase was a little hazy. It was raining. We were all kind of in different places. But we did decide to go do a few rides at that point because that's what you do after you've been drinking around the world, right? Duh.
So yeah, so the park the park was open until 11, and for most of the Crescent Lake Club, at least my immediate members, we are used to staying outside of International Gateway at Beach Club Villas or Boardwalk. So we had the minivan parked in the parking lot, so we knew that we had to leave out of the front entrance. So what better than to hit a couple rides on our way out? So our first thing was to gauge everybody. Everyone was doing good except for Teets. Now, Teets, what I preface this, Teets, almost every trip, at least every race weekend trip, falls asleep on a ride. So we went first to Soarin', and it was basically a walk-on. Teets tried to fall asleep there, but we kept hollering at him.
I got fussed out for leaving my backpack at the feet.
Oh my gosh, yes. She got fussed at for leaving her backpack on the floor like you do with your shoes. Your backpack was too big to fit in the bag, whatever. Those olds were done with everyone, just like we were done with everything.
End of the night, yeah.
End of the night, done. That should have been our sign that maybe you just pack it in and go home. But no. Yeah, we needed to go thank the Phoenicians for our entire day.
No. We were in the land pavilion, so why not go live with the land?
Oh, yeah, so we did living with the land. Teets tried to fall asleep there. I think Courtney may have tried to fall asleep there, too.
No, I was fine. I was waking Teets up for that. I waited till the next ride.
So then, we, on our way out, we have to thank the Phoenicians. It's a walk-on. Let's do this. We don't even get to where all roads lead to Rome.
We didn't even see Rome burn.
Never saw Rome burn, and then shut down. Teets was already asleep at this point. And then we're just sitting there. The lights kind of come up.
5 minutes.
Animatronics stop moving. Then we see Courtney's head tilt out.
20 minutes.
So
30 minutes.
We got our first evac. I got my first ever evac, and it was on Spaceship Earth that night. And, of course, the craziest thing, so these two, in the front two car was Teets and Courtney. Right behind them were Angela and Leslie. And in the third car were me and Whitty. And then right behind us were people. And you just hear them all just spreading nonsense. Like a cast member told me someone jumped and got drug under the tracks, so somebody died. That's why he's crying, as you see all these like cast members walking back and forth. And so it turned out we were actually at a pretty easy place to evacuate because they finally came and got us out. We just walked down like 3 stairwells. And that was it. Our night was done.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It was way past 11 at that point.
Yeah, I don't think we got back to the room until like 12:30.
Yeah, the picture that I took of us walking off the ride was taken at 11:25. So, yeah, it was pretty late.
By the time we remembered where we parked, that was another walking around with our hand up.
No. I took pictures of where we parked every time.
Okay, good.
Angela told me that I'm a good park place remember.
All right, so we did make it back to the hotel around midnight then.
But it was fun. It was so much fun.
So that was your first time.
Again.
That was your first time in earnest attempting to drink around the world.
Yes, I did not have a drink in every country. I don't think I could have made it through the day, but I did taste a drink in every country. I think
Teets and I were the only ones that did. One of us fared much better than the other one.
Yeah,
because I'm not dumb. And I don't do things like that popcorn milkshake thing.
Yeah. It was so much fun, though, and I can't wait to do it again whenever our next trip is.
I know. Which, brings us to next trips. Usually at this point of the show is when we talk about, different promotions and things that are going on at Disney. And maybe if you're thinking of jumping on and booking a trip and, there isn't a whole lot going on, except if you're thinking about Christmas. So the Crescent Lake Club has locked down an exclusive rate at Coronado Springs starting on December 23rd and running to January 1st. And for per night, it's going to be $337 plus tax per room. Right now, if you were to ask us to pull up what room rates are at a moderate, you're not going to find anything cheaper than that by $50 to $70. If you want to stay in the Grand Destino Tower, it's $401 with taxes. So we've got a really great block rate for Christmas. If once you guys get vaccinated and you finally want to spend some time at Disney with friends and family for Christmas, we're really excited to be able to offer that discount to you guys. And I'm sure down the line, we're going to have maybe a couple more perks like Christmas magic bands and stuff like that, holiday magic bands. But, we're not seeing a whole lot of travel discounts and travel offers right now.
I was going to say, I'm very shocked by this. I really would have thought by now we would have had some promos out for the fall, maybe like a late summer, early fall, back to school, something, because they haven't released anything beyond that 30% room discount, up to 30% room discount, which is still bookable. And the 5-day ticket, get 2 days free. That promotion does end on May 1st or 2nd, I believe, maybe the 4th. It ends very early May. You have less than 2 weeks, I think, to book that if that's something you're interested in. But there's nothing coming up after that. So those promos run out in September, and I know at that point, we get into the 50th and then Thanksgiving and then Christmas holidays, but we usually do still have promos in November and December. So kind of shocked that we don't have anything. Plenty of park pass availability. I mean, the October 1st is sold out. July 4th is limited availability. But from July onward, it's pretty wide open. I mean, I check regularly. It's pretty wide open. So,
So, the other thing that we kind of touched on earlier is I asked when I did this group block, I also asked about Port Orleans, and I was told that's a hard no. And so I asked again for February, March, which would be Mardi Gras spring break. And our group agent, who's great, told me to check back in 4 to 6 weeks because there may be a resort reshuffling. But honestly, right now, the only things they could offer for groups were All-Star Movies and Pop Century, which if that is something that interests you guys, I'd be more than happy to add that to it. It's going to be $277 a night plus taxes. And yes, Pop Century and All-Star Movies are the exact same. And yes, that's a $277 a night. Coronado,
I think I booked someone at Pop last Thanksgiving for $119, $109 a night. For Thanksgiving 2020.
Yeah.
So
nothing at Caribbean Beach. And if you are looking for a deluxe, well, I got some bad news. You're going to pay a deluxe price because the only thing on offer is Grand Floridian, and it's $997 a night for an outer building garden view. And that's about $200 cheaper than you will find at bookings straight from Disney. So if that is something you are interested in, CrescentLakeClub.com is up in the contact information, or all of our socials and emails are on there. And we'd be happy to help you guys book that. Again, If you like this kind of content, if you want to hear more about travel, if you're watching us on Twitch, hit that purple follow button. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. We've got some great stuff coming up next week. We're bringing in a pro. Like, we like wine. We like wine. We know wine. We're actually bringing in someone who knows wine. I'm so excited. The official sommelier of the Crescent Lake Club will be joining us for our very first show. Papillon Prince, former sommelier for Emeralds de Monaco here in New Orleans, will be joining us to do wine school next Wednesday. I'm super excited. So be sure to follow us on socials. We are picking a bottle that is going to be nationally accessible. So if it's something that you want to try with us, we're going to give you enough heads up that you can go and pick it up and then follow along as Papillon teaches us how to look at wine, how to taste wine, how to experience wine, give us some pairings. She's really great if you want to ask her any questions. She's looking forward to questions in the chat. And we'll also announce the start of our first Keelspalooza giveaway, which is all flower and garden themed, on that stream next week. Like I said, follow us on crescentlakeclub.com and our socials. We're going to have all the details about our exclusive Crescent Lake Club Christmas block. Will be coming out tomorrow. It's very limited. You will need to book, but just a one-night deposit is all that's required. Like I said, if you are even thinking about it, going at Christmas, this is the best rate at the best resort you're going to get, bar none. If you want to stay on property and get one last free ride on the Magical Express. I know. Which is, it's so weird. I'm hoping that we get to see more resort restaurant offerings open up by the end of the year. You know, there's a lot still in flux. So
yeah,
this is
it's
still
slowly coming back.
We're getting back to normal. We're getting back to normal. But this is a way, if you want to go at Christmas, to lock in a moderate at the cheapest price available to you right now to guarantee you have a room. If by some chance we get Port Orleans or something else that opens and prices drop, these group rates are guaranteed to have an equivalent drop in them too. So your price guaranteed to be the cheapest rate possible available. So reach out to any of us. To grow the show, I've got a special happiest hour going on tomorrow night. Mr. Worldwide and I are going to do an Oscars/movie stream. I think we're going to go on later, 9 o'clock. We're going to be talking about Midsommar and movie theories. So it'll be fun, something different. Mix it up, try and do a little something. And then the gang will be back on Sunday for our first Crescent Lake Club Sunday Fun Day. Live in a while. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Because we do have more stuff to go through about our group trip and talk
that
about.
was just this much of the trip that we discovered today.
Like, we didn't even talk about brunch. This was literally only like 6 hours of one day of a whole week end. Crazy. Yeah. I'm still recovering. I'm still tired.
Yes.
So anyway, Courtney, you got anything else for all of our adoring fans out there?
That's it. Follow us. Contact us if you are looking to book a trip anytime soon.
Yeah. So we'll be back for wine school next Wednesday. And I think we may do a little cruise talk after that, because next Thursday we have the ship tour of the brand new Disney Cruise Line ship. So we may do a little cruise talk too. Hopefully we have some news on those openings. But for Courtney, she's at Nola Disney Mama on Instagram. I'm Keels. I'm at Keels81 on Instagram. We are the Crescent Lake Club. Thanks you guys so much for joining us. I'll see y'all again tomorrow night. I'll see Courtney again. If not Sunday, I will see her on Wednesday. But we'll see you real soon. Thanks, everyone.